Russian forces destroy Ukrainian fortress in Krasnolimansk with precision explosives. In the ongoing battles near Krasnolimansk, Russian troops once again demonstrated the effectiveness of close coordination between frontline soldiers and unmanned aerial reconnaissance. A pair of Russian soldiers, acting under the constant control and observation of a UAV unit, successfully destroyed a Ukrainian fortress using improvised explosive devices and grenades. The operation began with drone operators identifying a fortified Ukrainian position hidden within the defensive belt. Once its location and vulnerabilities were confirmed, the UAV operators relayed real-time information and coordinates to two Russian soldiers tasked with infiltrating the area. Moving with deliberate caution and relying on cover, the pair advanced towards the Ukrainian stronghold. The entire movement was monitored and guided from above, ensuring that the troops remained undetected and avoided enemy fire. As they drew closer to the target, the Russian soldiers prepared their explosive charges. At the decisive moment, the fighters hurled a series of grenades and improvised explosives directly into the Ukrainian hiding place. The powerful blasts shattered the defensive structure, sending shockwaves through the enemy position and eliminating the troops concealed within. Drone footage captured the success of the mission in striking detail, showing how the fortress, previously considered a reliable defensive point for the Ukrainian armed forces, was reduced to rubble within minutes. The coordinated assault highlights the increasing integration of UAV reconnaissance in Russia's combat tactics. Drones not only provide real-time surveillance but also guide ground forces step by step, allowing them to approach enemy defenses with maximum efficiency and minimum risk.
Контратака — это очень сильно громко сказано. Они пытались пользоваться складками местностями, условиями погоды, разными техническими средствами для того, чтобы попытаться просачиваться. Но я вам так скажу, что мы контролируем их намного дальше, даже чем они это могут себе представить. Просто мы даже позволяем им заходить, где-то даже, может быть, не вальяжно, но как бы более спокойно и раскованно себя чувствовать для того, чтобы как можно больше их накопить с последующим их уничтожением, либо захватом их. Неоднократно и вот буквально даже недавно были очередные сдававшиеся в плен, из них даже были и офицеры подразделений ГУР.
Russian airborne forces advance on Chasov Yar, destroying enemy infantry and supply lines. The offensive for Chasov Yar continues to intensify as Russian airborne forces deliver powerful blows against entrenched Ukrainian defenses. Units from the 217th Regiment of the 98th Ivanova Airborne Division are playing a decisive role in these operations, systematically targeting infantry positions and dismantling Ukrainian strongholds in the villages of Nikolaivka and Chervonoy. Their coordinated actions directly support the forward movement of Russian assault groups pressing deeper into the contested area. In newly released battlefield footage, paratroopers can be seen identifying concentrations of enemy forces and launching precise strikes that neutralize both personnel and defensive positions. These operations have not only weakened the Ukrainian resistance but also cleared vital ground for advancing units to continue their push toward Chasov Yar. The second half of the video highlights another critical dimension of the fight, the disruption of Ukrainian supply chains. Russian paratroopers, closely monitoring the enemy through advanced drone reconnaissance, identified the process of resupplying Ukrainian militants hidden within ruined structures. Acting swiftly, they struck the supply deliveries, eliminating vital cargo and further straining Ukrainian defensive capabilities. By Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military operation. Last night, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out a massive strike by long-range air and ground-based high-precision weapons as well as with unmanned aerial vehicles against enterprises of the Ukrainian defense industry developing the Sapsan operational tactical missile systems, production sites of multi-purpose strike and reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles, robotic systems, counter-UAVs, and loitering munitions. The goal of the strike has been achieved. All the assigned targets have been engaged. The Sever group of forces inflicted fire damage on formations of a heavy mechanized brigade, 3 mechanized brigades, a Jaeger brigade, a motorized infantry brigade, and an assault regiment of the AFU near Alexivka, Magritsa, Sadki, Senoy, and Kropovshchina, Sumy region. In Kharkov direction, units of an infantry brigade of the AFU and a territorial defense brigade have been hit near Volchansk and Tykoy, Kharkov region. The AFU losses amounted to up to 215 troops, a tank, an armored fighting vehicle, 12 motor vehicles, and 4 field artillery guns, including 3 manufactured by NATO countries. The Zapad group of forces improved the tactical situation. Russian units inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of a mechanized brigade, an assault brigade, an airmobile brigade, an air assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and National Guard brigade near Borovskaya Andriivka, Kupiansk, Novonikolaevka, Novoplatonovka, Senkovo, Kharkov region, Darilovo, Shandrigalovo, and Yampol, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy losses amounted to more than 240 troops, 4 armored fighting vehicles including 2 US-made HMMWV armored vehicles, and 16 pickup trucks. 6 electronic warfare stations and 5 ammunition depots were neutralized. The U group of forces took more advantageous lines and positions. The Russian armed forces hit 3 mechanized brigades, an airmobile brigade, an assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a marine brigade, and a territorial defense brigade near Konstantinovka, Pereyaznoi, Platonovka, Pleshchevka, Seversk, and Fedorovka, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 245 troops, an armored fighting vehicle, 12 motor vehicles, and a field artillery gun. 1 electronic warfare station and 2 ammunition depots were neutralized. The center group's units improved the tactical situation. Russian formations inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of 2 heavy mechanized brigades, 2 mechanized brigades, a Jaeger brigade, an air assault brigade, 2 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 marine brigades, 2 territorial defense brigades, and a National Guard brigade near Artyomovka, Dmitrov, Krasnoarmysk, Krasnolimansk, Krivorizhy, Nikolaypoli, Rodinskoy, Udaknoy, Donetsk People's Republic, Ivanovka, and Filia in Dnipropetrovsk region. The enemy lost up to 480 troops, a tank, 5 armored fighting vehicles, 4 motor vehicles, and a US-made 155mm Paladin self-propelled artillery system. The Vostok group of forces continued to advance to the depths of the enemy's defense and liberated Berezovoy, Dnipropetrovsk region. Russian elements engaged 2 mechanized brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and 2 territorial defense brigades near Verbovoy, Gavrilovka, Kalinovskoy, and Podgavrilovka, Dnipropetrovsk region. The AFU losses amounted to more than 270 troops, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 14 motor vehicles, and an electronic warfare station. The Dnepr group of forces inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of the 2 coastal defense brigades, a mountain assault brigade of the AFU, and a territorial defense brigade near Maly Sherbaki, Stepnogorsk, Zaporizhzhia region, Dniprovskoy, and Tyazhinka, Kherson region. The AFU lost up to 40 troops and 4 motor vehicles. 2 electronic warfare stations and 2 ammunition depots were neutralized. Operational tactical aviation, attack unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops and artillery of the Russian groups of forces inflicted damage on ammunition depots, launch sites of long-range UAVs as well as temporary deployment areas of the Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries in 151 areas. Air defense systems shot down 383 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the enemy has lost 667 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 85,418 unmanned aerial vehicles, 628 anti-aircraft missile systems, 25,188 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,592 MLRS combat vehicles, 29,749 field artillery guns and mortars, 42,244 support military vehicles.